Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, the Smiths in the Black, and we've got, mess. Here we go. We've got election day, so SPY on the daily, doji right in the middle. So did we keep marching up? This broadening formation is something we want to know about. Two up, two down, or do we keep two in our way up? Because if we go to the weekly, it's important to understand we still have a ton of inside weeks. And that's where you get that inside, that back and forth stuff like we did today on the 60 here. So right here is like, oh, grind, and then boom, 2-2, wipe them out, 3-2 to start the day. Potential of 3-2-2 to the down. But like I said, inside week, we can go back and forth. We'll see how the elections come out and how people react to that. If you go to the QQQ, still inside week. If you go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, we know that's been one of the leaders out of the broader averages because it's still a 2 up on the week. So the Dow Jones has been doing a little better. And if we go to the monthly here, it's taking out last month's highs, right? So you're not an inside week over there. If you go to small cappers, a little more boring. Here, stuck. It did take out those month highs, but then backs off and goes red like a lot of things. So, go to the week, still handling an inside week. So, with that Dow Jones, you got Disney earnings and days puking. So, there's that. Somebody come in, that's probably going to be on the gap list, almost definitely. What you do have is Boeing still working here to the upside. And we know that was in the weekend video talking about the monthly 2-1-2 reversal to the upside. Boeing so far still working, and you can see that. That's what you want on Tuesday, Monday up, Tuesday still up, so they're still trying to come into the Boeing. If we go to Honeywell in the Dow as well, industrials still trying to work, so we'll see how that goes. And that's if we go to the monthly here, taking out last month's highs. And these are things we want to know about, and we'll be talking about a lot of that in the Strat Attack. However, and when we go to Teslers, because we like to watch the Teslers. Tesla's still having some problems, but you did triangle them out down in here. And so if Tesla's going to come back daily, here's your broadening formation, trying to expand it. But if you go 2-2 back up, you might have a Tesla day. Otherwise, it's still puking. If we go to ARRY, that's up big after hours, should be on the gap list here. If we go to UPST, crushed after earnings again. So a lot of these things just tanking. And these things have been just so many disasters this year. UPST is still a disaster, and AFRM still a disaster. AFRM still a disaster after hours. So we'll see how that goes. Lucid, puke. So we should have some good gappers. Like I said, we're going to see how these elections come out, how people react to that. But you got a lot of inside weeks. That needs to change. And I was talking about that all day, that, if we stay inside weeks on the SPY and a bunch of things, next week's more important. And I'm like, I know people don't like to hear that. Be like, I got to wait till next week. I'm like, not necessarily. But, as we get into the Strat Attack, I'll talk about things taking out last month's highs, last week's highs. But this is when you get that back and forth when you're an inside bar. You got to know that, right? And that's where that 60 was like, oh, no, Bitcoin's peaking, boom, back and forth. But in general, on a weekly basis, it's doing nothing, right? And then all it did on the daily was bring it back to doji, right? So that's where I call the vortex of getting caught up in the intraday chart and being like, look, you got to look at all of them. Is it really doing anything? And so it was easy to get the FOMO in the morning on the run up, and then the FOMO on the puking. But in general, doing nothing. So we'll be staying on these gappers. We'll see how these elections come out, and we'll see how that reaction goes to that, how many things stay inside week, and we'll go from there. All right, that's good for today. I'm Rob Smith, Smith's Black, with the Nightly Vid.